And we're live recording from the Pacific Northwest.
The
We're
Pacific Northwest of America. What's the Pacific Northwest of Canada? No, that would be like we're much further south than the Pacific Northwest of Canada.
so we're switching it up today. I'm Skull. This is Jay.
That's funny. You,
we were
we're
just
vlogcasting live recorded on Republic Today, republictoday.net. It is Wednesday, August 9th, 11:05 p.m. Pacific Time, U.S. America.
America, as in the United States of. Um. Anyway, so we're starting out today. Um. Skull, the actual Skull, is a little bit under the weather. Supposedly it is allergies. So, those of you who are tuning in, you will not get sick. Um, well, at least you won't catch it because it's allergies. I'm just kidding. This is weird. I feel like I'm flailing because I don't really do this by myself. But here we are. So, I had like a pretty fun day, I guess. Well, it like turned into being fun, I guess. I don't know. So, I went to my first job and that was fine, very chill, just normal day. I got to hang up some banners that I designed and printed and cut. Um, so I was like up on a step stool using push pins because that's what was asked for. Um, and then I'll take some photos of that just for my personal documentation. And then I left and came home for a little bit. Um, Snacked on some pecans and and then I went. Oh, I made Skull do some important document stuff. Um, and as an accountant, that was my job to do that. And so then I like had to rush out, go to my next job, washing dishes. I usually go in a little bit later because it is slow, and it started out fine, but then it got like super busy, like around 6 o'clock, and we close at 8. So I was there about. I usually leave at like 9 o'clock, get everything done, and leave at 9. Um, but I was kind of stressing out because I had so many dishes, and I had like another um, obligation. The fun part is I got to photograph somebody's work. So this person's trying to apply for like artist residencies and just have like good like digital documentation of their like physical paintings. Um, so anyway, kind of rushed myself, and this is actually the first time that I've ever left a dish, a dirty dish, at the job that I work at, um, under the guise of like soaking it, needing for it to soak or something like that. Um, and so, yeah, I had to rush out. Usually I walk home, but today I took an Uber. So I was like, I'm not gonna make it. And it worked out that I had like a little bit more time to get here and get settled in, and then that's distracting as fuck. Anyway, yeah. What do you have for us, Skull?
Well, I have no idea what you just said for the last, whatever, couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stuffy. I apologize to the audience and you, Jay. Uh, excuse me, I'm stuffy. I'm sniffly. Um, I have been negligent in housework, vacuuming specifically, and cat abatement. And if I'm going to choose to be in this space with this cat person, Jay, then I have to, have cats. Do put the work in, put in the work. And it's just about putting in the work and time and effort and like being efficient with time and effort. I spend a lot of time gaming. So what were you saying earlier in this podcast? By podcast, I mean vlogcast. Is it vlogcast or vlogcast?
Vlogcast.
Vlogcast.
Vlog.
Vlogcast.
You ever heard of
A
vlog?
vlogcast.
Have you ever heard of vlogging Molly?
Vlogging Molly.
Anyway, it's just silly. Anyway, so are there any basketball updates?
Well, should we check the World Cup? Should we do an internet search during a vlogcast?
What are we searching?
The World Cup updates.
They're for women's?
Oh
wait,
so
World Cup. So there's FIFA.
There's women's soccer, FIFA,
Yeah.
and then FIBA is men's basketball this summer.
Right, and that
Fall.
hasn't started
Summer, fall,
yet.
August, September.
It hasn't started yet.
Okay, so there's preliminary games. It's just exhibitions. In terms of USA basketball rotations, it seems as though. Oh no, I'm even thinking. Hey audience, I'm also intoxicated. Just letting you know right now. I've trailed off in plenty of these vlog casts in the past. In the past or in the past.
Well, the last episode.
Trailing off.
Yeah, we were both pretty intoxicated, maybe crossed up a little bit, and it felt like that episode was really dragging on while we were doing it. And I looked at how long it was, but I haven't listened.
It was a quickie.
I haven't listened to any of it, but it was 11 minutes.
We gotta listen to the one before it. I think it was high quality, and let us know on Twitter, TikTok, whatever you're subscribing to. republictoday.net. Republic Today, because so they make .net a joke in Spider-Man. I constantly watch like Marvel brand products through the internet, and they're J. Jonah Jameson, the newspaper publisher, who is Peter Parker's nemesis. He's the boss of the newspaper where he usually takes pictures, Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
There's different iterations. It's like he's done with that. He's a college professor of photography.
Oh.
And MJ.
Mm-hmm.
What's the actress's name? Should we say actor? What is the proper?
Actor is fine.
It's fine. It's not great though. I see what you're saying. Zendaya plays MJ in the current MCU iteration, but is like an actress and model, and he's a photographer or photography professor, and they live in New York City, and it's kind of glamorous in a pre-internet sort of way.
I see.
But it's not. It shouldn't be. It's like, oh yeah, it's just. Oh, what was this soap opera? She was acting in like soap operas. I don't know. It's silly Spider-Man stuff. But J. Jonah Jameson's the publisher, who is like always out to get him and always takes the villain's side, or Spider-Man doesn't work with the cops like Batman does necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe there's a little bit. What is it? Is Police Commissioner Stacy? Is it Gwen Stacy's father? I mean, there's maybe a little bit, but that was like in the 1960s or something. So he's considered public enemy by J. Jonah Jameson. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. That's nice. Mitch put this bouquet together and is showing it on the camera for those of you who are just listening. Um, but in the current MCU, J. Jonah Jameson has a .net. It's like the Daily Globe, because I think that was to contrast the Planet of Spider-Man, Kara Danvers. But he has a .net that kind of like, makes him less legitimate or makes him more of like a conspiracy theorist, fringe.
But we were also, I think, we were watching.
It's not RepublicToday.com.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that is. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
So anyway, Twitter at Republic Today, Facebook Republic Today.
.net.
It's just .net on YouTube, on Google brand. I don't think there's a Republic Today Gmail, because it's like skull at republictoday.net, J at republictoday.net. Those would be, if we set up email. That would be the email address.
No, it would be spelled out. Skull at
No,
republictoday.net.
it really wouldn't. I have that domain.
.com.
At Gmail.
At Gmail.
What is it? How do you know if it's an Apple iMail? It's, J Capperson
I don't know.
at
There's like iCloud or
iCloud dot
whatever. I don't know.
Apple.
I don't know. Anyway, what else you got?
What else we got? FEMA's so international. I've been feeling international lately.
We want to travel.
I went to Paris, France for a week once.
I was in the Netherlands and Denmark for 2 months last year. And I keep bringing up that we should, like, if we're going to take a vacation, we might as well go for 1 to 2 months.
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm into it. I'm not disagreeing with you about that. So as regular listeners and or viewers know, we're trying to start a business. If you're like really digging into stuff we've talked about in the past. But probably not. But we've been making some business planning. See, hospitality. Sorry, for those of you who don't know, I'm like brushing my beard. There's this little kitty. I'm showing it on the camera for
So this is Noodle. For those of you who are watching, it's an orange cat. For those of you who are listening, it's an orange, medium hair, scrubby ass little tabby cat. Look how scrubby she is. Hi, Scrubby. Look at the camera. She's a model. I don't know what to tell you.
She's persistent.
And she's persistent. And she's full of allergies for Skull here.
But it's my bad not keeping up with housework.
Or it's
It is what
mine.
it is.
I'm a cat person.
Jay does a ton of housework. Like, works hard. Works hard at home, works hard at work. All day, every day. That's how Jay rolls. I take some, half days off on housework sometimes. I have in the past taken time off work. Like, I do like traveling.
I like traveling.
So sometimes it's like, well, don't. I wanted to be upfront with my employers about being dependable. Hey, I'm planning a bunch of trips in the next year.
Yeah.
I don't want you to depend on me to hold it down 5 days a week for,
Or, like, they can do that.
What if we're gone for
But,
you're talking about being gone for 2 months?
Just plan ahead. Like, you can depend on me for the times that I'm here, yes. But these are the times that I have scheduled. Like, what do you mean depend? You can still be depended upon. And it's like, yeah, I also, like, need some time off. Just as anyone else fucking should get time off. and then you get your shifts covered. It doesn't make you not dependable, undependable.
Oh yeah. I don't mean to focus on that one
Anyway,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. That's all I got. I have
Yeah.
like a burn on my arm and it looks so fucking gross. It's like healing. It's like lumpy now, I guess. Cancer.
Damn. Dark. That could be triggering for people.
Alright, yep, sorry. Round two.
Is cancer talk? I think it should be. So I went to a movie theater. I forget what movie it is now. A while ago when the previews, what is it called, trailers for the 9/11 movie came on, and it was triggery. It was bad,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is super inappropriate. Like it was really like, and I just remember that experience being like, damn, they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have put that trailer out for people to see.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, right. Too soon.
Well, or just like some things shouldn't be put out there without like an obvious
A
choice to like.
preface.
Yeah, it's what. Yeah, you should be able to make whatever content you want, and if people are gonna click on the 9/11 movie, yeah, fine. But in terms of marketing it, they shouldn't have just put it in front of people like that on the previews. I didn't see a lot of it afterwards. I'll bet there was some kind of outcry, like, whoa, this is not cool.
I mean, to like be a little bit aged now, like this is over a year old at this point, but the um fictional based on a true story about Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix series, there was an outrage because they didn't get permission from like the families who like had been devastated by like the murders of their children.
Right. Yeah.
Like nobody consulted with them to like share their story or like resurface, rehash like all of this stuff on such a like mainstream platform, and then it was being pushed and advertised and all this, and like yeah, I don't know.
What about these school shootings? What when people are like,
Right.
this will make a great action movie,
Right.
where like, yes, we're not gonna lie about the death toll, but we could have some children save some other children's lives, while some lib is there shooting up a school.
Yeah.
Um,
Fucked up.
yeah, I don't know. I use a lot of sarcasm on this show, and it's a lot about trying to be entertaining and joking around, and like I'm trying to think of what a listener might want to listen to. Um, but it's always conservative people that are shooting shit up. 9 times out of 10, 95% of the time. You can bring up the liberal example here and there, but in terms of mass shootings, probably white is like the meme, right? Isn't that the meme? That probably some white guy is the one who white man, probably man, definitely man. There's like, what's the chances that you would ever assume a woman was perpetrating a mass shooting? 99% of the time a man. Again, you could probably find some instance somewhere at this point because there's 3 a week in the United States of America. But like,
That are like talked about, I guess.
right. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so there's an epidemic of mass shootings. That's bad. That doesn't seem like capitalism has things going great. What's up with mass shootings? Is capitalism responsible for that? Um, but they're perpetrated by men, and they're mostly perpetrated by white men. Again, occasionally you find men of color perpetrating mass shootings, and that's not to assume that all white men are conservative, or that all people of color are liberal, or whatever you want to call it, progressive. Um, there's a little cat here for those of you who you can't see it on the video or hear it on the thing, but so we're
Yeah.
making assumptions about people's kind of political leanings in the American, commonly understood American binary, which is not actually how the universe works and things, but we are divided since whatever, I guess, before the Civil War, since the Federalist Papers or whatever, between different philosophies about governance. And as Americans, I mean, I try as much as possible to not live in that binary. But it is part of our culture. In the same way that capitalism is part of our culture. I'm an American consumerist. Losing track of things, getting off the rails, cross faded podcasting, vlog casting, live, recorded, republictoday.net. Stuffy nosed, allergetic. I'm allergic to this little kitty. There's a little kitty here.
Wrap it up.
Rat, 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 rat. We invite, interaction.
Like, comment, subscribe. Republic Today, republictoday.net. Thank you for listening.